student number 1, student number 2, student number 3. But I might do that, that's different story. So whoever asking that, they're going to say, yeah, please give me a list of all the students. Then they're looking for students. That's why line number 15 for string. Students, I means each. Cards means in the class. That means each string I, which is an element or an item in the cards array. So go to the cards array. Since the cards array is holding string, I have to put string. Then I could put I or X or whatever I want doesn't care. That means it's a variable. Go through the array and give me everybody. That is line number 16. Yeah.
What if you had a number here, right?
That means then you can use the string.
You can or can't?
You cannot.
Okay.
Yeah. That means here. You mean a number here?
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't like it. I don't like it. Because you say I have an array of string. Then they say, come on, you can't do that. Then you say, no, I mean it, I need it. You say double quote. That's not a number, it's a number, but you could do that. Then you can do the math with this.
Right.
Good point, okay? This is going to work because it's not a number anymore, string. That's good, very good question. I like questions like that. Okay, line number 15, you come there, it's a string, go through that and to printing. So that is a little more shorter and it's going to print. That's it. Any questions? So this is a regular for loop. This is an enhanced for loop. Make sure you understand that so powerful stuff. Whatever type, this is something like you're saying each cards printed. Each items in the cards are printed, or each students in this class, give me a list. This one means I'm going from the beginning of the list and one by one. That's it. Okay? Now that is done. What else? Now let's go to another example. Let me understand. Rest of the examples in the chapter is really have, and I just come up with something to explain it easy. Just like Java methods. Here I put another. I didn't put, yeah. See Java array and ArrayList PowerPoint, only 3 slides. That's what I'm going through. So that will explain basic stuff. Going back. Any questions? All right, very easy. Then you do it. Now, you could always make a 2-dimensional or 2-dimensional array. See that? Anytime you have array is so smart with it. This class is really a good example of a 2D because each row become a row and each column become a column. So I could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 6 by 10 table in this class. 6 by 10. That means line number 3. Since I need an array with 2 dimension, I say 2 square bracket. Integer, square bracket, 2 sets. Then that's a name. And now you know the numbers. Since you have 2 sets, you're going to have a curly brace, beginning and end all the way end. Then the second 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to be in first row. 5, 6, 7 is the second row. That's what happened. Now you go to the for loop. So in order to navigate or go through the 2-dimensional for loop, you need 2 for loops. It's not separate, it's nested for loop. That means for loop inside another for loop. That's called nested. Okay, line number 4 is the outer for loop that will go from 0 to 1. What is my numbers that length? See the first row, I put a space, what is happening there? So J, so you go through the columns, isn't it? You come to the first row, line number 4, the first row is this, 1, 2, 3, 4. They go through that, so numbers that length is going to be how many rows? It's going to be 2. Understand? So 2 times. Then you go to the inner loop, that's going to be numbers I. What is I? 0, isn't it? First time. So my number 0 dot length. 0 means this. That length means 4. Understand? So here the length is 4. Here the length is 2. Everybody understand? That's how many in each row. Then it's come and print that. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. You're printing this. Then you get out. I put a space so that you know the difference. Then you're going back to the outer loop. I is 1 now. Okay. What is going to be this? When I is 1, what is going to be the numbers that length? My numbers that length. Still 2, isn't it? Yeah, second. You are in the second one. Then you're coming, so second row, what is that? So you're taking 5, 6, 7 to line number 5 loop. Then what is going to be this value? Only 3, isn't it? 3. So it's going to happen 3 times. So first round is going to happen 4 times. Second round is going to happen 3 times. That you see 3 times. You put one more. That's going to be kind of correct array. First row, second. That's right. So in order to navigate the 2-dimensional array, you need, this is called the nested for loop. Means a for loop inside of it. That means it's going to come to the outer for loop, just like I'm coming to the first row and distribute some paper to each student, finish it and go back to the second row. Yeah, last class I explained that. That's right. That's a 2-dimensional array. Okay, now we're going to see, this is what I'm going to, array, see, everything is fine. Now we're going to see, there is a limitation in the array. What is the limitation? When we talk about array, you have to know the size, isn't it? You should know. You can change the size. If only 4 cards, that's it, 4 cards. You can add one more card. You have to redo that into another array. So that limitation is a problem. So Java come up with another mechanism called that is called the data structure. This is control structure, means how you're going to put the logic. Data structure means how you're going to store the data. Now they're going to come up with this is the basic data structure. ArrayList mean, yeah, array have some limitation. 2 limitations for array. What are those? 2 limitations. One is you should know the size for upfront. You can change. That means fixed size. What else?
Gotta have the data.
Second one is the answer to your question. You said, can I have a number there? No. That means supposed to be only one type. You can have integer and string. In Java, they come up with some data structures. You could mix it. We're going to see that. You could throw whatever garbage there, but it's become an object for you. Understand? But in this case, we are not there yet. Okay? Which is kind of, most of the time you have to be careful to deal with that kind of object. Now we are trying to solve the issue of that size limitation. Okay? Now Java said ArrayList you could create an array list. Since it's a class created by Java, there are a lot of methods inside that. Your job is to go and look at the methods and enjoy whatever over there. That's what we're going to see. Array list. I don't have yet. Let me copy that back out. Array list. Let's go to the main. Copy and paste. Okay, same items. Now look at that. Line number 5, array list. You don't need square bracket or anything. Now see this string. Why is this? I'll show you. Okay, this is the API. Okay, array list. Array list. See? That is in the package. That's what we talk about. See, package. Package java.util. If you need that, you have to import it. Anything in the java.lang, it's available to you. You don't have to import. Okay, since it's a java.util, we need that import, but it is really below the abstract list. Yeah, all this, that's a hierarchy of the class. Don't worry about that now. Array list, which is a class. See, this E means this class was designed for any data type. I should say any object. That means any type. You understand? That's why the angle bracket and closing less than, greater than, in between E. You could put T, whatever you want. Type, they put E for element or whatever. So when they design, it was designed next Java 2, you're going to learn that a little more in detail. So ArrayList was designed for any type of object, which is powerful stuff. Okay, anybody could use it. Now you come down and look for how to build it. Since you have this angle bracket, you have to say, this time I'm going to create an array list for me that is going to be for string. We understand? If it's an integer, you're going to put,
Int.
since it's an object, what are you going to put? You have to put a?
Int.
No.
No?
Since it's an object. Again, you are right with the common sense, that's the way it's supposed to be. And then we have a object equivalent of the int. So int is a primitive data type. We have 8 primitive data types. That doesn't have any fancy stuff. So Java say, okay, we're going to make a lot of data structure that will take only objects like E. Then what are you going to do? I can't even use int there. That's too bad. Java said, don't worry, you could really use this. This is the wrapper class for, wrapper is 2P or 1P?
I think it's 2P.
2P, okay. It looks like, yeah. So wrapper class for int. That means this int, you could cover it in a box, then you name it as integer.
So just put the whole thing instead of
Yeah,
that first.
then what you put there is going to be int anyway, but this syntax, please don't put primitive data type, you just cover it. That's what, string is okay. If you need an integer, you put uppercase int. Yeah, we will see some of them.
Oh, the whole thing has to be the uppercase or just
Yeah.
the?
No, only the first.
Okay.
Yeah, not the whole thing. When we build any class, look at that. Uppercase M, main. So always when you name a class, start with a capital. Not all of them, just first. Okay, here string, we know it is a string. Name is cards. Now see, you're going to make a new array list. Since we did that in lab 1, is it? Your lab 1 was what? You're creating a class. So what was the class? Employee, isn't it? So something that's your employee. You don't need this because you create your employee for only employee. That's the reason. Okay? That's why. My employees or employees, new employee. That's what you did. You don't need this because when you design, you didn't put a generic type or E there. Okay? You may do that in next Java 2, next semester.
I've got
Got it? Now, cards is the name of the array list. Now you have to use the add method. How do you know? Because when you go to the API, you look for, you could create an array list with this. That means they're going to make an array list with the 10 capacity. You get 10 size, but you keep on adding. When it's 10, you have one more, they're going to adjust the size. Okay?
quick question.
Or you could,
So you said we need to know the capacity of the.
If it's an array, you must know.
Yeah, but like, can't we just ask the user how many?
Items you need.
Yeah.
Then you use the second see this construct. Second.
Okay.
So if the user say I need 20,
It'll just create 20.
then you're going to say array instead of empty, you put 20 there. Okay. But then what's the good thing about that? So you get 20 to begin with.
Okay.
But if you have one more extra, then still take it.
Oh.
That's it. You
So
understand?
we can just put 0 and then it'll just keep
Yeah.
adding it.
You can put 0. You usually start with nothing. Yeah, you could put 0.
And it'll just keep
Yeah, I
adding
don't know. I
it.
never tried that. Maybe because minimum is 10, which you don't even have to put.
Okay.
Yeah. Then the third constructor. See the constructor in your employee. You had 3-4 constructors. Remember, same way. You have what is the third constructor doing? If you have another collection, again, when you learn Java kind of programming, a lot of stuff you didn't learn yet. So that might come. So just understand that. Don't go too much into that specific area, but you should know the third constructor is going to be asking for another collection. Using that collection, you make an array list. That's it. That's all it is. Okay? But details will come later. Again, that collection is really a child of the any child. That's why. Again, don't worry. Make sure you know the first constructor and the second one. Third one, little bit advanced. Whatever it is, if you want to add one item to the end of the list, you put add. If you want to add something in anywhere you want with an index, you could put the first one. Okay? Then you could add multiple stuff. You could clear. You could clone. You could find something is there. You could get something from index 0, 1, 2. You could find where is one item. All these methods are available. You could remove. You could find the size. You could convert into a regular array. All that stuff. And now with that in mind, let's go here. You're using the which one are you using here? Which method are you using here?
Add.
First or second?
The second.
Second. Because it's going to be in the end. That's it. And then you're adding all of them. Then you're printing. Here cards. If you print it, you just put cards. Let's see what is going to happen. See that? So cards, they're going to print as like an array. See? That's right. Did we learn toString? No. Huh? No, maybe we're going to see that when we go to the upcoming. coming weeks, okay? Yeah, so I don't want to bother you with that, so we're going to see that. Okay, cards means this. This is the good thing about ArrayList. They have a mechanism to give you whatever there, okay? If you do as a regular loop, regular array, you have to put it in a for loop. Here you don't even need a for loop. But the problem is going to come in the square bracket. At least you could see how many items are there. If you want to display in a decent format, you might need a for loop. Okay.
Can we just
Yeah.
put backslash and as sorry
Here?
like in the what you call it?
Oh no, that doesn't work.
Oh,
You
okay.
mean backslash n here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be one more line. That just because it's going to the array and getting it. So that backslash n is unnecessarily giving an array. Only thing if somebody process it, they're confused.
Okay.
You could do it, but that's
Unnecessary. It's not needed.
okay. So that is the array list. Now go back to the slide. Array list. Array list comes with a lot of methods. That's what some of them here. Now if you want to display that, see, using a for loop, this is the way to do it. Line number 10 is going to display as an array. If you want to display one by one, get I means get 0, 1, 2, 3. Size is going to be in this case 4. So run this. This is from the line number 10. This is the 4. So if you want to display line by line, yeah, here it will, because print line will do. See, this is happening from line number 12. I should say 11 to 13. Everybody understand? Yeah.
What happens on line number 10 if you just put print instead of print line?
Print, yeah, that stay in the same line. The problem is, see, the Volvo will go. See, yeah, print means print and stay in the same line. Print line means print and go to next line.
Oh.
That's print means stay there. Next information is going to be concatenated, which is sometimes good, sometimes ugly. In this case, no good.
Let's print F.
Or you could use print F with all that stuff. Print function. Everybody understand? So this is the way to print. This is no good for always. This is good for finding how many there, just like a troubleshooting. Then you say, yeah, I know it's there. Now I need to display line by line, so I have a for loop. Or I could even do this with the what? For each. See that? Enhance. See that? How do you do that? So come here. For. See? Since it's a string you're dealing with, you have to put string. You could put anything you want, I or S. Then you put a colon and say, yeah, give me each item. What is the name of the array list? What am I supposed to put next? Here. Very good, cars. Then I just put bar. System dial out. What am I supposed to put?
Cars.
Would be S.
Very good. Maybe one more bracket. Yeah. See that? Remember this. This is exactly same thing. This is the full for loop. This is the enhanced for loop. If you're using a regular for loop, you have to go through index. Here you say, go to the cards and give me everyone. so that each of them means S. So you go to print line and put each. Each of the card, each of the items in the cards list, give me. Here, go to first, second, third, give me. So this is two different ways to do the same job. See? That's remember that way for the exam you should be comfortable, no? Yeah. This is chapter 7, it's not a part of exam 1. Only up to chapter 6. And now, everybody okay with this? Make sure you understand. Oh, sorry. So that's what we saw here. Now another slide, what is that? Yeah, now we're going to use the integer number. Look at this. Copy this guy. Yeah, we done with that. Now we're going to make another array list. Look at that. Here, you know, we need to add numbers. So line number 18 say array list what? Integer. int. No. But you adding 10. So Java is really automatic. That's got auto boxing. So when they get 10, they're going to say, okay, this 10 is kind of int, but I'm going to box it and give it to the integer. That's what. Then you print using enhanced. Do you understand? What else is there? Yeah, another beautiful stuff is you could sort with, all right, let me go there. How do you fix it? This is what we're going to do. ArrayList is a beautiful stuff. Now what we're going to do is, there is another package, or I should say class. See that? Collection means something like an array list, data structure they created. Next one, collections. See, it's a class. This is really a collection of lot of static methods to operate with the collections. So collections, okay, not collection. Collections is really another mechanism, like a toolbox for a mechanic with a lot of fancy tools to use it. So collections comes with a lot of tools. One of the tool could really use to sort and do a lot of stuff with array list and a lot of collection, which is one of the array list. Okay, that's what. Over there you have something called you have minimum, maximum. Mouse is acting up. Did you see sort? Yeah, sort. See that? Sort. That means collections comes with a method called sort. That sort will sort list is array list. List is really the parent of the array list. So anything under that list class, if you give that to the collections mechanism, there is a method called sort. Sort will sort it. So it's now, since that is another package, you have to import. So you click on that. They're going to add it for you. See, line number 2 is added. Import collections. Now they are not complaining. Now you could really sort that. See, Volvo, BMW, Ford, Mazda. Now the next display is sorted. ABCD order. See? Sorry. If it's an array, you can do it. How do you do it? You have to put it in a for loop and put a lot of start with last class we did some minimum, then assume it. You have to swap it. It's a work. Here they have the mechanism. You use it. That's the idea. And a lot of powerful methods are there. You could shuffle, you could rotate, you could reverse, you could swap. A lot of stuff. Don't worry about all of them. Some of them you could find the minimum, you could convert into list, you could find where is it, all that stuff. So it's collections, which is part of java.util. So if you want to enjoy that, you have to import that. Okay, that was the slide they're showing here highlighted. That was our ArrayList. You could go through that. Now we're going to rest of the examples in your chapter 7. We have to go through one by one. This is what I just went through. That made it clear for you. Before I continue with chapter 7, we have one more day for this week anyway. Lab 2. Let's see lab 2. Lab 2 is due by March 5th. Lab 2. Now you should be able to start lab 2 because we finished chapter 6. Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, like 3 or 4, 4 questions, okay?
Damn.
4 questions. Everything is about method. Okay. Yeah, question number 1, you have to come up with a program, Celsius temperature table. So you're going to convert Celsius into Fahrenheit. So the formula for converting is given. And what is your job? Write a method named Celsius that accepts Fahrenheit and convert into Celsius. The method should return the temperature converted to Celsius. Demonstrate the method by calling it in a loop that display a table of Fahrenheit as 0 through 20. So when you finish, it's going to be kind of, again, I didn't show any sample screenshot for you. It's up to you. But end of the day, it's going to be, if you have some Fahrenheit like 32 F and another column like C, 32 is going to be 0, isn't it? Yeah. And then you have maybe a few of them and real value. That's it. It's going to be generated using a for loop.
Alright, so we're submitting like 4 different files for each question?
For
Well, it's 4 questions, so I'm saying that we submit 4 different files.
yeah, thank you.
Okay.
It's going to be four files. Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to say lab 2 question 1 dot Java, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. So it's going to be 4 files.
Okay.
Yes. Do we understand? So it's going to be here only one method. That's going to be below the main method. So main method could call these guys and do the job. So it's up to you. Okay. I'm not strict with how you do it, but you need a right method. You need one method anyway. Of course, you need main to run the program. So in this case, you need 2 methods. Got it? Question number 2. Here test average and grade. Now what is going to happen here? Write a program that asks the user to enter 5 test score. So the program should display letter grade for each score and average test score. So write the following method. In this case, you need at least 2 methods. One for calculate average, one for determine grade. Of course, you may have another main method anyway. Make sense? Okay. Calculate average method should accept 5 test score as arguments and return average score. Do we understand the idea? Determine grades is going to be a method that accepts test score. I think only one piece coming, and inside you put some code, your return is going to be a letter grade. Make sense? That's right. So how is going to be the calculate average looks like? Cal average. Yeah. What are you going to have? Is it empty or something here? Huh? Building the method. What am I supposed to have here before something? Public, yeah, anything? Hmm? Class, why you need class? No, I'm talking about the method. Class is there, that's going to, class is going to be maybe, you may say, lab 1, Q2, something like that. That's up to you, that's the name of the class. But I'm talking about the method. The method should accept 5 test arguments. So you're going to have 5 pieces here, isn't it? That's one. When you ask 5, how do you do that? 5 test score. So test score, it's up to you. Test score, you want to play with the double or integer, it's up to you. Again, if it's integer, you say integer score 1, comma, integer score 2, comma.
Makes sense for a double.
What's going to be in the left side? Double makes sense. I want to, make sure you do be smart. Yeah, public. What is rest here? Read that question. This method should accept 5. We took care of that, and return the average of the score. So you have to put, what do you put here? Average is going to be, very good, double. Why double? Because you may have a 0.5, you don't want to lose it, double. Anything else here? The data type, public, double, yeah. Anything else?
So the class is going to be the main.
Main is going to be the method calling these guys.
Oh.
Yeah, this is the extra 2 methods. You always need main. Without main, you can't even run the program. So you have to create a class name. You could say question 1. Don't put any space. Then you need a main method. Then you need this method and one more, determine grade. Then do the coding. Do you need anything here? That's the question. Very good. Stand. If you don't have that, you have to create an object. My lab2 q1 equals new lab2 q1. It's okay. You kind of going into a class design. In this case, we are not building a class, we're building a method. Got it? Then you're going to have a determine grade. So in the main method, you call these methods and come up with something like this score and letter grade. It's up to you. I don't want to detail too much. So solution may be totally different. Each student's come up with their own way of doing it. Understand? Determine grade is going to receive only 1. So you're going to have a determine grade with a double score. Then return is going to be what? String. Very good. String. Letter grade is a string. That's it. Then what are you going to have inside that second method? You're going to have what kind of control structure? How are you going to say A, B, C, D like that? Yeah, a few if statement.
If else, right?
Some of them, yeah. If statement, if score greater than 90, do that. Next, else, kind of. It's up to you. I don't want to give you some.
Just to clarify,
Yeah.
is the determined grade thing,
Hmm.
is it gonna take the data from calc average or is it different?
It's taking from, it's a good point. If you want to convert, okay, this method again. Okay, program should display letter grade for each score. Yeah, since it's each score, you have to call this guy 5 times.
The calc average.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, determine grade 5 times.
Okay. So those two are different from each other.
Different.
Okay.
Understand? So this is below this. This is, you don't have to display exactly like this. Is just a grade scaled university there. This is your head. So you're going to use this. Of course, you know that. Use this for entertainment. Now question number 3. Conversion program. Write a program that asks user to enter distance in meter. The program will then present the following present, as in, it don't make any sense, eh? It's supposed to be present, isn't it? Yeah, because it's the test wrapper made it. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, that means you need kind of a menu. We had one example with the menu, remember? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this menu. That means if they type 1, so the program will convert distance kilometer, inches, feet. That is going to be, you're going to have a few methods. Show kilometer is a method, show inch is another method, show feet is another method. Menu is a method that is going to give you 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the user type 1, they're going to call show kilometer, 2 for inch, all that stuff. 4, quit, and program should continue. That's it. When you run the program, it should look like this. See? Enter distance, then got it. Then the menu comes. You pick the option. Then you do the conversion. The menu come back again. Pick another option. When you type 4, buy. That's it. We had some examples kind of similar to this. Okay. That you need some time to work on it. Now question number 4, another example. Okay, there you're going to find the present value. Equation is there. Write a method present value. That may be easier than the previous one. Source code and screenshot for all these 4 of them. So I want to make sure everything is there. So lab 1 is graded. Everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
So GT did it? Yeah.
Is this gonna be worth the same?
This is how many points?
I think it's 4.
I put 4 points.
Okay.
Other one was 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know some of them too much work for same point, but idea is to learn because so it's since it's applicable to all the students, doesn't matter. So your idea is try not to lose any points. You don't gain any point. You get 100. I'm giving you all the points. So your job is don't lose it. So you got all 100. So when I come to grab some points away from you, you have to stop it. That means you post it on time, you do a good work. If you don't do the work, you lose. Little bit leaking here and there, fine is going to be probably C or B or whatever like that. But if you hold on to all the points, you got A. That's it. Any questions? So that was our, yeah.
We're not doing a UML diagram this time?
No UML. Again, you can't even do the UML diagram for a method. Yeah, UML diagram is always for designing a class. Go there, you have a method class. Good question. If you really want diagrams, you need flowchart for this. Flowchart. You did that in Python, so I don't want to bother you with that Okay, so that was the lab. So work on that. Going back. Now exam 1 review. Exam 1 review is somewhere here. Yeah, the solution is there, you don't have to worry. Run that in the slide mode or something. Yeah, chapter 2, 2 through 6, 40 multiple choice and 6. Yeah, kind of timing, okay? You don't have too much time for each. Some question you could answer so far, some question you may need a little more time, so average you're going to be fine. So don't just think about one question and waste your time. Okay? And 40 multiple choice questions, 60
So
minutes. Yeah.
we won't have the whole class period for the exam?
Yeah, only 1 hour, 1 hour. Yeah, yeah. It's only 1 hour, 20 minutes anyway. See?
That 20 minutes matter?
Yeah, yeah, I know, but this exam is only for.
Okay.
For the final exam, you're going to have a little more time. Yeah, this one. Right. Yeah. 40.
And the final is going to be the comprehensive, right?
Yeah, final is everything we cover. I'll give you review and everything, don't worry. Yeah.
So the test is just 40 questions?
Only 40 multiple choice questions.
Only.
Something, in this format. But you don't get any of these questions. But something in, at least yeah. Lot of code, all these coding questions, Even though you don't type, you should know that. See? Go through this. If you don't understand any of this, go to that GTA discussion board. You could bother her a little bit. Only if you have questions. Because that solution is here. With this, go to that area in your textbook and PowerPoint and study and copy and paste. Try to do this in your IntelliJ and you know what is happening. Then you know. Don't try to study just like studying history or geography. You can't study like that. You have to practice. You have to say what is going to happen if I don't have the plus, if I don't have the comma, all that tricks. Then all the tricky questions you could handle. That's how. Okay. What's the reason for the error? Answer D. Why? Because of the comma.
Oh.
Yeah. One line. Is it? Comma is not the issue.
Yeah.
That is within the double quote.
The final?
Yeah. Finally, the issue is here.
Wait, they also didn't put the semicolon after this?
Yeah, here semicolon is an
Yeah.
issue, so we have multiple problems.
Whoever did this.
Again, type this, copy and paste this in your ID and understand. Then you don't need anybody's help. This kind of questions you may get that slash division.
Equals float.
Yeah, it's kind of 5.0. Okay. You understand that? It's not 5.6 or anything. Why? Why? Yeah, because you're doing the integer division first. You're going to see 28 divided by 5, how much? 5 point something, but you don't get that point. Then your float typecasting is outside that. So you get 5 and make it 5.0. Why? Because Z is already float. To match it, you need the float. Do while loop how many times? You start with the 11, Then how many times? It's one time. Why? How come it's only one time? You get a lot of for loop and while loop, which is going to be tricky like this. That's the way you lose points. If you understand, then so easy. You say, hey, can't trick me kind of stuff. Make sure you understand. Here, everybody know why? Yeah, because anyway it's going to be one. Anytime you use a do while loop, you get one. In this case, the loop is kind of useless because you start with 11, you adding 20 more to 11, which is still 31. 31 is not satisfying the condition, which is greater than 100. 31 is not greater than 100. If it is less than, it's going to work. Okay, those kind of stuff. So you add that y minus minus somewhere in the chapter. We went through that about pre-increment, post-increment, all that stuff. Read that in here. Y minus minus means you taking one out. But it's going to be applicable only in the next line. That's it. Okay? Yeah.
I was gonna say, will you explain that again?
Okay, this is what happening. X and y is 15. Then you're going to say x equals y minus minus. That means post decrement. So if you use y after this line, you get that decrement, which is 14. If you use in the same line, you still get the 15. So if you put that minus minus before y, it's going to be 14. If x equals minus minus y semicolon, answer is A. Since it is post means after. Before means pre. If it's a pre-update, like pre-increment or decrement, is going to happen in the same line. That means like a prepaid phone means what? You have to pay $100, then you get that much time. This is postpaid. You just use it, then end of the month you pay. So that's why. Two things. Here, in this line, you don't really enjoy, or you don't lose it. Yeah.
I was gonna say, what about plus plus?
Plus plus become, you mean y plus plus?
Yeah.
Same thing. If it is plus plus y, it become 16. Yeah, it's tricky. That's why you have to just type this line in your editor in the main method and display that, play plus and minus here and there. Then make sure you feed that in your brain. It's totally confusing. You're going to get questions like this. Yeah.
In the array example you did,
Yeah.
you had I as like a random like variable, and you put plus plus after it.
Yeah.
You still execute.
Yeah, very good. In the for loop,
Yeah.
for loop you could put plus plus after or before because you're coming back there.
Okay. That makes sense.
Coming back. Just like you giving somebody like okay, you want to buy something. Okay, you need a pack of chips. You're going to say, yeah, $1. Go and get a chips. Or you're going to say, get a chips. Money is here. So giving the money and go there is pre. That is before. That means that your friend go and get the chips. While he is going, he doesn't have your money. Understand? So no update happening. You need to come with the chips and get the money. That's it. Good point. This one. D is the answer. This is good for numbers in range 100 to 500. So anytime a pipeline is or is good for excluding. That means you say anything below this and above this I don't like it. That's what you say. Or. What is about and? If you use and, you're going to put this way. Anything below this and above this, I like it. So if you want to say inside the range, you could use and. Here you say less than 100 and greater than. What's going to happen if I put and instead of the or there?
Error.
Hmm?
The error.
It is, yeah, it's going to be, nothing is going to happen because you cannot come up with a number which is less than 100 and greater than 500. There is no number satisfy below and above. Make sense? And means both supposed to be happening. No error, nothing is going to happen. That means a logic error. You confuse the program, so you think it's going to work. Yeah, so you try what's going to happen with and, what's going to happen with the less than, equal, all that stuff. So you're going to get questions like this for exam 1, 2 and final. You get all this question, even in Java too, something in this caliber. Because that will make sure you understand the logic. Okay, you may have another class, huh? After this, no? Okay, one more then. Here, what will be returned from the following method? Do we understand it? That is 8%. Yeah. Okay? It's not 18. Why? Because double. Double. Because of the double. If it was INT, it becomes B answer. That's it. How many times? That is, I changed a little bit from the previous slide, so remember that. Again, when you study and make a picture in your brain, that's going to confuse you. Don't take a picture in your brain. That means don't memorize. See here, less than. So that's going to work 5 times. How? Start with 11, then go to 31. 31 is less than 100. It's good to go. Then go back. 31 become 51. Good to go. Then 71 good to go. 91 good to go. Then no more. That's yeah, here which is the output by the following you have 200 if temperature is greater than 90, okay, which is then that will take care. Less than 70, no. Equal, so the answer is too hard. That's simple, isn't it? Yeah. But your exam question may be a little more tricky. Don't remember this too hard. Yeah, here, see? Here you have while temp is not equal to 80, yeah, which is good. You go inside the loop, isn't it? Because 180 is not 80, so you at least go inside. Then temp is greater than 90, that's good. So you got that. So there you have. Then see, you have another ternary operator. See that? Ternary. So you're cooling down. If temp is greater than 150, is it? Yes. Then what value are you going to take? 100, isn't it? That's the one you're going to subtract from 180. Then you go to B. Too hard. And just right. Okay, again, plug that into your editor and enjoy. If any question, go through this, any question, let me know.